Hey, what's up gentlemen and ladies? Welcome to another video, and yes, I know, another video talking about the Fabula Nova Crystallis. I know that I made two of those recently, and some of you guys might be getting pretty sick of hearing me talk about this, but I kind of felt like this just needed to be said. Now, across my two previous videos in which I explained the mythology of the series as well as theorized on who the lady of the logo of FF15 could be, one comment that I got probably more than any other is people telling me the fact that Final Fantasy 15 isn't a part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis anymore. Now, if there's anyone out there who has no clue what I'm talking about or what the FNC even is, then I will leave a link in the description to my video where I explain the series and how it came to be in the first place. It's a pretty old video, I'm not gonna lie, but the info is still accurate, so it's worth checking out if you have no clue what I'm talking about. But for those of you that just want the summarized version, it's basically a series of Final Fantasy games consisting of the Final Fantasy XIII trilogy, Final Fantasy Type 0 and its spin-offs, and Final Fantasy 15 along with everything in its universe. The connection between these three worlds was vague, but they basically shared things like the themes in terms of stories centered around crystals and a common mythology dealing with the same gods and terminology. Last year, however, Tabata made several statements having to do with Final Fantasy 15's connection to this series, and I think that a lot of people just kind of got the wrong idea from this. I've been saying all this time that the reason for this was basically just to shut up all the Final Fantasy 13 haters from complaining about how this game is still slightly connected to 15. In fact, that is the entire reason why the names of the two games were changed from Agito 13 into Type 0 and from Versus 13 into 15. It was to get rid of the 13 brand on them, but the connections were still there, obviously. Everything in the FNC is still basically in FF15, they simply changed Eidolons to Archaons, for example. And the beings in the cover of the game, which are very clearly Fal'Cie, but they're probably not going to call them that in the game. The crystals are still a very strong theme in FF15 too, and we see artwork of the gods in newer things like Kingsglaive, but how about a look at the actual statement, shall we? Tabata said that while FF15 became quote-unquote disconnected from the FNC, the mythology still existed as a base, just specific terminology was removed, and its role was reduced to a low-key thematic connection around which the original lore was created. So there you guys have it. Tabata himself said that the connection is still there, that they just changed around some of the terminology, which once again was just to shut up all the 13 haters. The things are still there though, you know, crystals, check, Eidolons, check, gods, check, Fal'Cie, check, l'Cie, check. Theory on that coming soon, by the way, but yeah. And as for the logo thing, Tabata said that it's not necessarily Etro. Necessarily. He never straight up said that it was not, and there is other goddesses in the Fabula Nova Crystallis. You know, we have Mwyn, Lindsay, Diva, and he did say that the being is not only a woman, but a goddess. In fact, the most important goddess in the FF15 world, so that disproves any theory that it's actually Regis or Noctins that people also like to bring up. So don't say that 15 has absolutely nothing to do with the FNC, because that's simply not true. The connections are still there. Whether you choose to acknowledge them or not is up to you, but either way, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to blitz that like button, subscribe as always. Stay tuned for all things Final Fantasy!